we are. We're going to talk a minute about the negative mind, negative sentiment. Override is what some people call it. I mean, I want to talk to somebody. There's probably one of you, just maybe one, right now. I'm not talking to a crowd. I'm talking to one person. And if you are that person, I mean, you're gonna know it almost immediately. Because I'm about to describe a thought that you have had many times over and over again. And you're going to wonder how a stranger got inside your head. Okay? So let me describe it. Somebody in your life does something for you, and it's a kind gesture. It's an act of service per se. Nothing huge. I mean, they bring you a cup of coffee, and you didn't ask for it. You just say, "Hey, I like some coffee," or "Oh man, that coffee looks good." You just sitting there, and they bring you a cup of coffee. Or they remember something small that you said last week, and you didn't even think that they were listening. Boy. But for a half a second, there is warmth. And then faster than the warmth, before it can really settle anywhere in your body, another thought shows up. And that one is not warm. I mean, what do they want? What are they trying to accomplish? What's going on here? Or, you know what, this isn't going to last. They only did that because of something else, or something they were trying to make up for. Or give it a day. And they're going to be cold. They're not going to, this kindness is just not going to be here. And this will have meant nothing. You saw the kindness. You're not blind, but you could not feel the kindness because something reached it first and told you what it meant before you got to vote. If you know that thought, stay with me. This whole thing is for you. There's a name for this, and people who study relationships for a living call it negative sentiment override. I'm tired of hearing the term, but that's what they call it. Do not worry about the phrase. Just hold on to one word inside of it, and that's override. Something you are already carrying takes the wheel out of your hands, and the moment in front of you does not get to speak for itself. It gets overruled, overridden, before it ever has a chance to speak. And here's how this runs. Every single day, the people close to you send out a stream of small signals, bids. Most of them mean nothing on their own. A short text, a door that closes a little too firmly, a quiet stretch at dinner. None of that comes with its meaning stamped on the outside. You're the one who assigns the meaning. And when the negative has been running things inside you for so long, or for long enough, it starts assigning the meaning for you. I mean, automatically, right? And always in the same direction. So the short text is not a short text anymore. It's proof they're pulling away. It's proof they're being passive aggressive. It's proof that they're upset. The way they close the door is proof they're shunning you out. The quiet at dinner is proof of everything you already suspected. And you will swear you are only reading the room. But you're not reading the room. You're reading your own verdict back to yourself and saying, I have sight. I can see clearly. Picture a scale that has been rigged. Weighted down on one side at the factory before you ever got it. It doesn't matter what you put on it. A feather, a brick. The needle swings to the same number every time. Now, the person standing on that scale does not think, oh, my scale is broken. I mean, why would they? The scale has agreed with them their entire life. It's always been balanced in the same way. It always points to the same number. So instead, they decide that the world is broken. And they walk around certain of this knowledge. And the certainty feels like clarity. It feels like sight. It is the exact opposite of clarity, though. It's the exact opposite of clear sight. It is a broken machine giving the same answer to every question you feed it, That is the override. It does not pour more cruelty into your life. It filters out everything that is not cruelty until cruelty is the only thing left in the frame. And then it hands you that picture and tells you it is the whole world. Now I have to say the harder part. And I'm going to say it very plainly, because you did not come here to be flattered. For some people, this is just a bad stretch. I mean, things are strained, the tank is empty, and when the tank gets filled, the filter lifts and they come back to themselves. But for other people, it stops being a stretch and it becomes a face. They put it on and they never, ever take it off. They don't know they're wearing it. The negativity is not weather passing through anymore. It's who they have decided they are. I mean, you know the person I mean. It might be the person listening right now. They are the one who saw it coming, the one who is never surprised, and they are proud of that. And the reason they are never surprised is that they never once let themselves hope for anything that could surprise them. Bring them good news, and they will find the crack in it before you finish the sentence. Bring excitement, and they'll call it being realistic when they slap back with a negative attitude. They'll call it not being a fool. They wear their low expectations like a medal they earned in a war, and they'll tell you, almost with pride, that they just see people for what they really are. And here's what they don't want to hear. That is not seeing clearly. That in every sense, in every way, in every possible reality is a costume. And it only looks like clear sight from the inside of it. Because real honesty has to hold all of that at once, right? The letdown and the kindness. The betrayal and the loyalty. The same person who fails you on Tuesday and shows up for you on Thursday. Honesty is expensive because it refuses to look away from any part of the picture. What is wearing honesty's face here is cheap. It only has to look at one thing. It decided a very long time ago that the worst reading is the true one. And now it just goes out and gathers evidence for a verdict it already has handed down. And if you ask why a person would live like that, you find the thing underneath. And it is not what you would guess. It is not cruelty. It is not even cynicism. It's guarding. It's walls. It's armor. It's protection. I mean, think about it. If you already expect the blow doesn't catch you off guard. If you already assume the letdown doesn't break your heart because you're smart enough to never hand your heart over in the first place. Worn like that, the negativity is armor. It is a person standing in the middle of a room with their arms up, braced, waiting to get hit. And from the inside of that stance, it feels like wisdom, preparation, power, autonomy. It feels like you are the only one awake in a room full of sleepwalkers. And from the outside, it looks like someone who has forgotten that they're allowed to lower their arms. And here's the trap. The armor works. It really does keep the blows from landing. But you can't build a wall that blocks the bad and lets the good through. The wall does not know the difference. Every good thing that was trying to reach you hits the same wall and stops. And you did not just keep out the disappointment. You kept out the coffee. You kept out the touch. You kept out the compliment that was sincere. So what do you do? What do you do if you've been standing like that for years? I'll tell you what you do by telling you what not to do first. You do not tear the wall down. Not on day one. A wall that's been holding up that much weight for so long is not going to come down because you decided it was silly. It's going to, if you knock it out while it's carrying that load, the whole thing is going to fall down on top of you. That's not freedom. That's a person trying to breathe under rubble. So you were imprisoned by the wall, and now the wall's on top of you with everything on top of it. So the work doesn't start with a wrecking ball. It starts with an honest question, just one honest question. Ask with humility and gently and with grace and with compassion for yourself. What was I protecting? Because the armor was never insane. It was very reasonable and very intelligent. Somewhere back there is a real wound, a time you hoped out loud and got punished for it. And the bracing was the completely sane response of someone who did not want to feel that a second time. You do not get free by standing over your younger self and calling them stupid for building it. You get free by thanking them and then telling them very gently that the war they were preparing for is over. And I have to warn you about the next part because it catches people off guard. When you finally start to lower your arms, the first thing you feel is not relief, it is grief. Grief for the years that you spent braced, grief for the good that came to the wall and could not get through, moments you do not get back. I mean, I'm honest with you, there is a very specific ache in this. In the moment you realize how much was standing at your door the whole time, knocking while you sat inside, certain that the knock was a trap. And I need you to hear this very clearly. That grief is not a sign you're doing it wrong. It's a sign that you're finally doing it. The body grieves whatever it finally sets down. And here's the part I most want you to take with you when this is over. You were not born like this. Nobody is. Go watch a small child get handed something kind. They do not inspect it for the catch. They do not run the angle. They just accept it. They take it, the whole thing, with both hands. That was you. That was in you at one time somewhere before the world talked you into guarding it. And it did not lie. It went underground. It has been down there this whole time waiting for you to come back for it. So understand what the work actually is. You are not trying to turn yourself into a positive person. That's just another costume over the same braced body. You're not building a new self at all. You are remembering the one who was already there before the armor ever went on. That is who you are when nothing in the room is a threat. The negativity was never your nature. It was your defense. And the defense is allowed to come down when the enemy has left. So here's what I'll leave you with. The next time someone hands you a coffee you did not ask for, that old thought is still going to get there first. What do they want? Let it. You don't have to fight the thoughts. All you have to do is notice one thing. Notice that it showed up before the evidence, not after. And that this time, you're allowed to wait for the evidence. And sometimes, more often than you would ever expect, the evidence is going to be that they just wanted to bring you a cup of coffee. Learning to let that be true. That is the whole thing. That is the work. That is where I'm going to leave you right now. This is James Tippins. This is Unbound Freedom for Life. I'm not becoming, I'm remembering. Are you listening?